self-lubricating machine. You have a manifold in there. One of the leads out of the hydraulic block is going to this manifold, and then you got little tubes, clear tubes going all throughout the press to keep everything lubricated. Periodically, you want to be looking at that, pulling out the side panel. I'd make it just on a maintenance schedule once a month to go, and make sure you're getting lubrication on all the points you're supposed to. Okay? Run it, make sure you're getting oil.
What would stop it from happening?
You got 4 posts. What's that?
What would stop it from happening?
If you ever had a hole in your filter,
so junk gets in it, or a tube breaks.
you would have to get in through, it blocks the journal, and you're not getting oil where it needs to be. Okay? Or a line can get crushed for some reason when somebody was underneath there changing a filter, or they're squished or whatever, you're not getting as much oil to it. So you want to be checking your lubrication points periodically, make sure that you're getting oil on them. Your filter maintenance.
How do you get to the filter? Is that what that covers for?
Yeah, that one right there, exactly. Again, oil always a ½ inch above filter. Okay? Common mistake. They fill the machine, ½ inch of a filter, buckle it all up, start running it, and the machine uses like 6, 7, 8 gallons itself just in filling the lines. And so they're running it just barely. So you fill it, you run it, and then you
after you've done that though, does it
top it off.
Does it consume oil?
No. Okay, oil temperature. Just like in your car. Thick oil, better compression. Thin oil, less compression. Okay? So we recommend you turn this thing on, you let it run 5 minutes. Okay? Let it build up a little as it gets winter. You guys are in California, but Colorado and stuff, it takes freaking a ½ hour to get it up to working temperature. And so you're setting it all up for thick oil in the morning. By afternoon, okay, it's not cutting because your oil temperature is so much lower if it's like 30 degrees outside. Okay? The worst is throughout the day, as the oil is getting thinner and thinner and the temperature is going up in the building and stuff like that, you're having to add more pressure, more pressure, more pressure. And then somebody comes in the morning with thick oil, boom, pushes the die all the way through your cutting board. Okay, does that make sense? So, you'll never have to worry about that here, but that can be a problem when it's getting to freezing and the building's not controlled temperature-wise. So, you don't want to be chasing that down. Now, if we have a diagnostic issue, in the touch screen here, the HMI, we have a query screen which is unique to us. And it's exactly designed that I can work with an average, not a electrical engineer or mechanical engineer, and get some very important information so that we can get you back up and running as quickly as possible if there ever is a problem. Luckily with these machines, it's 2 pieces of steel, a hydraulic ram. It's very, very basic. So it's not a maintenance nightmare, but a flatbed printer or something else would be. So the query screen is a screen that we'll have you take a picture of. If there is a problem, the first thing I'm going to ask you for, so you might as well get it, is a video of what the problem is. Okay? And I need a picture of each one of these screens. But on the query screen, when you're trying to do something, I can see if all the sensors are happening. So if the low-level sensor is communicating with the computer, I can take a look at that. The high-level sensor, everything else throughout the press. So what's important to us is that with the right feedback, we can diagnose anything very, very quick. What is always a challenge to us is somebody will make assumptions when we're saying, do this and check. Then do number 2 and then check, and number 3 and check, and they're like, okay, I already checked the oil, I know I'm good there. I've literally flown out to places, walked in, gave them a list of 28 things to do, here the most likely, and working our way down to 28. They get to 28, it's still doing it. And walk up to the press, and you know, it was a lubrication on a ram or something. So, and it was like number 2 on the list. So, whoever's doing it, just we want to get you going as quickly as possible, but we're going to need a good video. That's super easy these days. Do that, make a video, make it in 5 or 6 little short ones, and just, you can text them, okay? Okay. So, one nice thing about us, okay, we absolutely don't hide from you. The reputation of our company, the growth of our company, depends on me being able to send people to you and saying, Pat, you still like James? And if Pat can say yes, we're golden, okay? And every time Pat says yes, you know, we're doing all kinds of fun things for you guys. We like to keep our customers happy, and you can't do that when you hide. So we don't. If you notice, we always answer the phone. You're not pushing buttons and crap. You call, we answer the phone, tell us what you need. So so just on a diagnostic scenario, we go through the list step by step, and it can never be anything real difficult. We send you with spares of, okay, almost everything you need, okay? So this saves a lot of time. Last thing we want is for you to need a part. It's stupid, okay? A $20 part when you're buying a machine like this here and shuts you down for 2 days because I got to get something. First we got to figure out what's wrong. Then I got to get something to you in the mail. It's ludicrous. I mean, throw some parts in there, you know. So if one of these sensors, these are getting pushed every single day. If you compare these to most of the, you know, cheap machines that are available and out there, I could buy these that cost $2, or I could buy these that cost, you know, $7. The life of the $7 ones keeps my customers happy. But we give you spares nonetheless, so that if we find we're having problems or whatever else, we can tell you what to replace. You already have the parts, and you're up and running again. So, waiting on some oil here. Your pneumatic, I mean, these are great. Most people have couple holes here, some L brackets, and they're mounting it and they're doing this. These slide back and forth, you get it up to your die, okay, hit that, they curl up, lock your die in place. Now, your cutting specifications, you have a minimum of 50 millimeters. And that's a problem that we've seen before, where somebody might take out the cutting board and just be working off. Or they go to a thinner, because they're cheaper, a thinner cutting board itself. You can't go any closer than 50 millimeters. So they're like, it's not cutting. I keep turning up the pressure. It's not cutting. It's just barely kissing it. What's the problem? What's the problem? Okay.
50 millimeters is, how much is that?
50 millimeters.
How many inches is that?
50 millimeters.
About a fifth of an inch or so?
Yeah. So
about a quarter inch.
Yeah. It's a half a centimeter, so you're about a quarter inch is what you want. So there are 2 preset settings back there on your pump. I would take fingernail polish, something permanent, and mark where they are right now. People start to have problems, they start turning crap. Okay. Those are preset.
Yeah.
Those are preset for your pressure. You change those.
Can you show us real quick where they're at?
You're overpressurizing the machine. You're going to blow out seals and stuff because some guys took it upon himself to fix it. So.
Do they change the speed that it goes up and down?
No, it changes the amount of pressure you're going to get. So. Don't touch it is what you're saying. Yeah, these are set with gauges, okay, for hydraulic flow and hydraulic maximum pressure, so that we're not hurting the ram. Can you get more pressure out of it? Yeah, you can, but at your risk. So literally, I'd be marking this one. That there's just a pressure gauge, but tell people not to touch either one of those.
Don't touch these.
Yeah,
Do not touch either
those.
one of these.
You said pre-mark them where they're already set, so we know what it's preset to.
Now right here, here's a bypass. Inside of there's a little button. Okay? Inside of this right here, there's a little push-in valve. When you first get a machine going or whatever else, if it's acting a little bit weird or stuttering or whatever else, air in the system. So you'll take and push that center in, and it will release the air. And do that vigorously 4 or 5 different times. And has to be done with the press on. You don't want anybody on the other side for safety issues. But this is how you get rid of the air out of your system. Okay? If you ever have a problem with a pump, you're going to see it with oscillating. Okay? You don't want to see these things bouncing all over the place or whatever else. That's air in the system or pump going bad. So you're going to notice this machine is very, very quiet. Okay? That pump's the Japanese pump. The Chinese pumps are twice as noisy. I mean, they're just noisy. We sold machines with the Chinese pumps forever, and you don't know what you don't know. And then all of a sudden you come down and visit me one day and hear this one run, you're like, did somebody turn it on? I mean, it's hardly making any noise at all. So that starts to help. Yeah, these are the light curtains. Put your hand in like this, and you'll see they're in focus. You have a light on the top, green or red. It's green, they're in focus. That means they see each other. If they're not seeing each other, so this is a maintenance item that you want to be looking at.
I would check it. Just like your garage doors. If they're out, they don't work. If they work,
Exactly, just like the garage door. Exactly.
So if it was out of alignment, it was not going to be safety ready.
Right.
You stick your hand.
Actually, probably wouldn't run if you're out of alignment.
What's that?
It wouldn't run if you're out of alignment, would it? They'd be constantly tripping. If they weren't seeing each other, they'd be constantly tripping. Like somebody's hands in there, wouldn't it?
Well, you got 2 indicators on this here, and you'll see when we get it up and going, we'll be able to demonstrate it for you. But 1 out, it'll still operate. 2, it won't. So, that's good. That's good.